Hey, and thanks for joining us on this week's episode of For All Things Lexington, the only show dedicated to Lexington, South Carolina, and where a spade is always a spade. Here we'll talk to and about people, places, groups, things to do, and places to go in and around Lexington, South Carolina. I'm your host, Angela Barrett, and this is For All Things Lexington. Brought to you in part by GervaisStreetBridge.com, Columbia's most unforgettable free-to-list business directory. Hey guys, today I have the pleasure of having DJ Stingray 803, who is a local DJ here in Lexington, but does not only DJ in Lexington. So thank you so very, very much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. So where did the name DJ Stingray 803, I get 803 because we're 803.
Correct.
Where did that come from?
Funny story. So me and some buddies, we were taking a trip down in Charleston. And I was deep sea fishing. First time I ever went fishing, ever. And it took me a minute to reel it in. And guess what I caught? A stingray. So I caught the stingray and I was just like, oh, 'cause I was kind of, tossing the idea of, hey, I think I want to DJ because I love the music. I love just making people happy. So I was talking to them and they were like, you should do that. And then I went back to my job that I had at the time, and there was another guy there. He was just like, Ray, that should be your name, DJ Stingray. And I was like, I don't know. But then it just kind of resonated with me and it stuck with me. And here we are.
Yeah.
So, and I love it.
I like it.
Yes,
I like it a lot. Now, how long have you been DJing?
All right. So I've had a set of turntables now for about 7 years. Mm-hmm. So I would like to say I've been doing it. But when COVID really started is when I kind of started to take it more seriously and kind of blow up a little bit.
Right.
So that was probably the end of 2021. That's when I kind of went on another level, which was pretty awesome.
So is that when you learned to really hone in your beat matching? I think that's what they call it.
BPMs, yeah. So it's the 2 tracks. So basically, every DJ probably knows you want to stay within plus or minus 5. So if I'm playing a beat that has 85 beats per minute, you want to stay within that range. But yeah, the more I do it, the more excited I get and perfect my craft. That is something that we all want to do as DJs. So.
And when you say turntables, now, you got to remember my age, we're back when we had vinyl and they were actually scratching records. So how is it done now?
So now it's digital. So I own a controller, 2 controllers. I have a Newmark NS7 III and I have a Rain 1 controller. And basically there's 2 decks. So it's all digital now. So I'm not a pro like it was back in the day when they actually have the records. And I wish I could, but I'm not on that level yet. So.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty cool what they do with all the technology today, which again is way over my head.
Right. Yes, sir.
But now, and you just, like you said, you'd always wanted to be in the music industry of some sort. So how did you land on?
So, I come from a very musical background, my family. So when I was younger, I played the drums. Yeah. So I was really big, played the drums for my dad. He had a local church at the time and played the drums. And it was just something about music. I just love it when I'm playing and seeing everybody excited and happy. For me, it's just like, it warms my soul. So I was just like, okay, I got to find this passion. I got to take more on this passion of mine. So.
Now, your dad's church, was that here locally?
So he had one in Sumter. So I'm born and raised in Sumter. So he had one in Sumter. Then he now currently lives in Moncks Corner, the Charleston area. So he had one there as well. So. Oh, well,
good. Good. Now, how long have you been in Lexington?
Let's see. Lexington, I've been here since 2016 for Lexington. Now, within the Columbia area since 2007.
Okay. But you didn't attend high school here.
Correct. I did not.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Now, have you ever worked the type of DJ that they call you? I know there are different types. You got a radio DJ, and I guess the kind you find has a permanent job in a nightclub. What would be yours?
So for me, I'm more into the bar scenes. So obviously now I play a lot of LJs, I play a lot of Schooners, Howard 378 Bar and Grill. I do a lot of
Wings
private
and Ale.
parties, Wings and Ale.
Yeah.
I do a lot of private parties and a lot of weddings. So I would say I'm classified more as that. I don't want to say underrated, but I am that guy that's
A turntable. Is that what they call
yeah,
it?
well, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And I was just trying to find out what the different names of DJs, because there are.
Yeah.
But have you ever had a permanent gig, like or done a nightclub kind of scene, or?
Yeah, actually, I did. Downtown, there's a place called Jay's Bar and Grill. I did that one a couple of months ago. It was a great time. I was in the Vista, and I actually am scheduled to be back there next Friday.
Oh, cool.
So that'll be pretty fun. That was awesome.
Yeah. So now, what's the biggest event or gig or whatever you would call it that you've done? The biggest one?
Ooh, I did a wedding in Saluda, Tin Roof Farms. There it is. And I did a wedding there. I did a couple weddings, but I had one that was about 400 people.
Wow.
And oh my God, it was exhilarating. It was so exciting. Oh man, I was just happy for them. So it was just, I felt like I was just sliding across the floor with everybody. I was dancing with them. Like it was just a good time. So I would probably say that was probably my biggest one that I've done.
Yeah. Now, speaking of that, how do you get the crowd engaged? I mean, what's your little secret trick of engaging?
That's a great question, because I was actually talking to someone about that the other day. So what I do is I start with a set and I read my crowd. Okay. And then what typically gets people on the floor is party songs. So the basic Cupid, the wobble, cha-cha. So once I find that median or where everybody is, then I will get out there and I will actually dance with you. I will try to attempt to cut a step. So I'm not just one of those guys that just sits behind the booth. Like I'm coming around, I'm gonna pull somebody, hey, let's go have this dance. Let's go have fun, because music should be fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have a pretty big following. I mean, I know just the 378 Bar and Grill out there, that crowd alone is a huge following.
Yes, great bar, great owners there, a lot of good singers too, a lot. So I would highly encourage everybody to come out. I'm there every Thursday, starting at 7.
And so you DJ, but you and I had talked before about the karaoke that goes on there. So do you kind of help set up and cue that music for people? And
yeah. So I use a software. Basically, I come in, I set everything up, and then I get them keyed up. And then when they're ready to sing, I hit the play, make them sound the best they possibly can, and we just have fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, do you have to buy any of the music that you play?
Yes, I do. So I do a mixture of both. So I buy something, I use a subscription. So I use a software called Carefun. That's usually my best friend, because they have an online platform and I can get whatever they want, and it makes my life so much easier.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know. Now, who is your the number one DJ you follow, either whether it be
the number one DJ that I follow? I would probably have to give a shout out to Kevin Snow, because the guy is awesome. Like, he is just by far very particular. He's very organized. And, I had the pleasure of meeting him a couple of months ago.
Oh, nice.
And he's been doing it for a long time, and got to sit down and talk with him. And to me, that was big. That was critical. So the fact that he just sit down and took that time with me.
Because I would imagine that being organized would probably be a number one trait that a DJ would have to be.
Absolutely. The biggest thing I would say when it comes to DJing and organization is your music. So I use a software called Serato, and it's critical that you have all your music set up in crates, however you want to set it up. Makes your life easier, especially when you're doing a wedding, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because again, like we were talking as I was finishing setting up, there's no starting over.
Right.
You don't get to say, "Oops, we start over."
Right. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Now, if you had a dream invitation as a DJ anywhere, where would that dream invitation be?
I want to get in Florida somewhere. Let me get to Florida. Let me play at one of these big festivals down in Florida, Miami, and oh man, I will rock it.
Nightclubs.
Yes, ma'am, and I will rock it out. I know I will rock it out.
Yeah.
Rock it out.
Now, if you could give a piece of advice for somebody who wanted to get into DJing, what would that piece of advice be?
Anybody that wants to get into DJing, I would say if you love music, if you're passionate about music, and you love to see people happy, look into it. DJs, I like to say, they're selfless people. So we want to make sure everybody is happy. So if you're that guy that's music, you like all different genres, all different types, I would say go for it. Gotta have that passion though. You just don't want it to be just a push and a push. Like you want to be able to feel how the DJ is feeling through the music that he's playing.
So let me ask you this. This is not going to sound very intelligent on my part, but that's okay. There is a DJ that is I always on Instagram, and maybe because I have stopped and listened to it, but he wears this mask.
What's his name? Starts with an S.
But
I can't remember.
He's
I know
amazing.
you're talking about. My buddy's gonna kill me because he's a big fan of him and I should know his name. But
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
I guess I've stopped and listened long enough that now he keeps coming back
Gotcha.
on my feed. But yeah, but he's kind of cool. Again, don't understand all the technology and don't even know his name, but he's cool to watch. But I don't understand the mask part, but I guess that's part of like your name is a Stingray and his is whatever it is. But
Yes, well.
So you do, again, I mean, you have certain nights that you're out like at 378 Bar and Grill, you're out at Wings and LJ's. But you also, again, like you said, do private events, like obviously weddings.
Correct.
And then if somebody had a big party they were giving, like a Christmas party or a whatever reunion, those kinds of things.
Yes.
Now, how do people find you? How do they get in touch with you?
So right now, Facebook, social media. So I have Instagram account, Facebook account, and I actually have a website as well, djstingray803.com. And if you go to that website, there I have a tab that says upcoming, and it will show you my whole list of public events throughout the end of next year. So I'm
cool.
Got some stuff going pretty good.
Yeah, I was going to say you're pretty booked up. What do you think makes, other than organization, what makes a successful DJ?
Personality. You have to have a personality. You cannot be one. I will say you need to be more of an extrovert instead of an introvert, because you need to be out there. You need to be happy. You need to show, like, you got to have personality. And if you don't have personality as a DJ, then quite frankly, people will read you. And if they don't see you excited or happy, then we got to throw some red flags. Okay, what's going on? So got to have that personality.
And being able to read people, read the room, would be probably pretty important, which means you, I guess, need to be in tune to surroundings and vibes and what's kind of going on.
Absolutely. I agree to that as well. Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, how do you keep up with what the latest music is? Because, good Lord, there's a lot of it.
It is a lot. So when I go to play at a lot of bars, they keep me hip. They keep me excited. So they'll come and say, "Hey, DJ, you heard this song? No, listen to it." And obviously Spotify too is my big friend as well. So between those two, I stay pretty connected. So I would think.
So what is the most requested song that you get?
Ooh, the most requested song. I would probably say Fergalicious.
Really?
Fergalicious, because with Serato, it will have a count of how many times. And when I was on it, that song was played 496 times.
Wow.
Yeah, everybody loves some Fergalicious. I don't know. It's just something about that song. So I'm like, okay, if you like it, I love it.
Yeah, that I would have never in a million years guessed.
That's just for me, though. That's just for me.
What do you think is the most rewarding part of being a DJ?
I would like to say having that nervous excitement. And what I mean by that is this: when you go put a song on, you don't know how the crowd is going to react. So you're kind of like nervous, like, oh my God, like, is this the right song? But when you see everybody jump up and they're excited and they're dancing and they say, "Go DJ, that's my DJ." And you just see the room just happy, where everybody just forgetting about what they got going on in life. And they're just saying, you know what, I'm here, let me enjoy this moment. And I'm a part of that. it's just awesome for me. It just makes me feel great.
Yeah. And now you obviously are talking about somewhere you've never DJ'd or a crowd you don't really know because you have such a big following. You pretty much know what they want to hear. So, but you mean like if you're somewhere new and you haven't had time to read the room.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I could see that. Yeah. So what is the most embarrassing moment of your DJ career?
Okay, so I did my very, very first wedding that I've ever done. The bride and the groom, they gave me my songs, and I keyed the song in super late. So they start walking down the aisle, and they were just looking at me like, where's my music? So for like a good 10 to 15 seconds, everybody's looking at me, and I was like trying to push the button. I was like, what's going on? What's going on? And my board was like frozen, so I kind of low-key freaked out for just a little bit. But then when it came on, I was like, so
Right.
yeah. And I was just like, that's just a big no-no for DJs. Like, you know, you not on a wedding day, you just don't want it to happen. So that was probably top.
Yeah,
That
I
was
can
definitely
understand that. I used to do a little amateur photography, and somebody said, would you ever do a wedding? I'm like, oh, no. I mean, you know, like you said, there's no redo. You get one shot.
Exactly.
One. That's it. I'm like, no, thank you. No, that is not pressure I would ever want. So I can understand that.
Oh, yes.
But for sure. Now, your favorite so far, I know you said the wedding, and that was your biggest, but I mean, you do have some regulars, so we're not going to offend anyone. But I mean, what's your favorite DJ moment to date, anyway?
Favorite DJ moment to date? I would probably say if I'm hosting a karaoke night, like for example, this past Thursday, we had a karaoke night at Highway 378 Bar and Grill, and there was a big party that came in, probably 25 was a wedding, and man, oh man, they came in and they had a great time. They were just singing and just, oh man, it was just very uplifting. And if a lot of my followers know, when I'm recording and I'm putting stuff like on social media, I like to laugh.
Right.
So all they can hear is my laugh in the video, and they were like, oh, that's DJ Stingray because of my laugh. So I laughed so hard on that one. So that was probably by far one of my favorites, just seeing everybody having a good time.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And by the way, if somebody has not been out to 378 Bar and Grill, you need to go out here and see DJ Stingray. But I will say this. If you're hungry for a very good hamburger and one of the coldest beers in town, that's the place to go.
Absolutely. Yes.
My husband and I used to live out that way, and sometimes on a Saturday afternoon, we would go out there, you know, in the winter or whatever, and go out there. It was always consistently great, and the beer was always really cold.
That's nice. Cold beer is a good thing.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So now you live in Lexington and have for some time, but you're not from here. You said that. What is your favorite place to go when you're not DJing? Where do you go? When
I'm not DJing, I tend to taking some trips up to North Carolina, Asheville. I don't know what, it's something about Asheville. I just love it.
Oh yeah,
it's just so quiet. A couple of months ago, I went down to Savannah, Georgia, the Hilton Head Island area. Loved it.
Yeah,
loved it. So
right. Now, do you have a favorite place in Lexington that you chill at?
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. So I go to Wings and L. I go to LJ's a lot. Schooners. Schooners is
that's a whole different crowd.
Yes, it is. But hey, it's great food, great bartenders. That's the place that actually really helped me. So I am always in Schooners, always. So I would probably say Schooners for sure.
Yeah. Again, very unique place, unique crowd, to say the least. Always a good time.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So, what is one thing that people probably get wrong about you? Let's just say not a judgment, but something they assume, and you're like, no, that's not it.
Scratching. Just as a DJ, scratching. Everybody's like, hey, we know you probably can scratch really well.
Yeah.
No, I tell people all the time, you know, that's something that takes time. I'm big on
That's
transition.
still a thing, for real?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So you have to be very talented to be scratchy. So I'm still learning that. But what I take pride in is my transitions.
Yeah.
So just making sure the first song I cue up loads with the next song. But
Right.
everybody
Sort of like that guy that I was talking about.
Yes.
He doesn't scratch.
Yes. He doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my thing. But a lot of people think I know how to scratch. Just hit a scratch, Ray. Hit a note, DJ, and I'm like, yeah, just go chicka chicka chicka. That's about all you get and call it a day. I know some people that can, but I'm not on that
I didn't
level
even
yet.
know that was a thing anymore.
Yes, ma'am. It is. It is.
So now tell us the nights that you're at different locations.
Yeah. So great question. So every Tuesday, I am at Wings and L in Lexington for karaoke. Starts at 6:30. Every Wednesdays, I alternate between LJ's Par and Grill and Schooner's Bar and Grill, the Irmo location. So this coming Wednesday, as in tomorrow, I will be at LJ's Par and Grill, starting at 7:30 for a little karaoke. If anybody has never been there on a karaoke night when I'm there, you should go because it's a lot of fun. Okay. Thursdays, I'm at Highway 378 Bar and Grill every Thursday for karaoke. That starts at 7. And then my Fridays and my Saturdays kind of fluctuate. Sure. So I could be at Schooner's, I could play, I could do a private party. It just depends.
Sure.
And then Saturday is the same thing. But this Saturday, place that's unique, I picked up a gig out in Rock Hill. So it's a new little spot called Hoppin'. So that's a pretty good one as well. So it just week to week, it varies.
Yeah.
But my Tuesday, my Wednesday, and my Thursdays are pretty much set.
Yeah.
They're set in stone.
Yeah. And you have some people, I think, probably not every night, but they go from one place to the other.
Yes.
To follow you.
I am very grateful. I'm very humbled.
Right.
Very humbled.
So let me ask you, if you had the attention of the whole world for 5 minutes, what would you tell them?
If I had the attention of the whole world, I would say, treat people the way they want to be treated. Treat people with respect. Let's be kind. We're all here. We have so much stuff going on in, today's world. So you never know. You could be walking by and somebody could have a good day. If someone says hello, hey, I'm doing great. How are you? Those little things can go such a long way. So I just tell everybody to just be kind.
Yes.
Be polite.
Absolutely.
Be courteous.
I love it.
And the world will be a better place.
That's right. Guys, if you want to get in touch with DJ Stingray, we have all of his information at the bottom. And I thank you so much, and have fun tonight.
Yes.
And I know you always do and will, but and thank you again for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for hanging out with us today, and we hope you enjoyed the show. If you'd like to be a guest on the show or have a person, business, idea, an event that Lexington needs to know more about, email me, local@forallthingslexington.com. That's the number 4, y'all.
This episode was brought to you by the real estate agents at Home Matters, building on service, relationships, and on what matters to you. Find out how you matter and how they can help you with buying and selling your home at homematterssc.com.